So will the Char-Griller Gravity Fed 980 pass the sear test? Let's find out. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Outdoors with Geoff. Before we light the coals for today's cook, take a minute and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified of any new content that comes to the channel. What is up everybody? Welcome back to Outdoors with Geoff. Today got a quick episode for you. Tonight the real test is seeing how the Char-Griller Gravity 980 does when it comes to searing. I have a 2.5 pound tri-tip and I'm gonna keep it simple, going back to the Fiesta brand's garlic pepper seasoning and also going back to basics with the McCormick's Montreal seasoning. So let's get this seasoned up and get it on the smoker. So before I get into my seasoning method, I want to tell you that I tenderized this tri-tip by poking some holes in it. And then I also put it under a kosher salt brine and let that sit on there for about 15 minutes and then rinse it off. That's what gave it the bright red bloom color that you see. Here I used olive oil as a binder and I went ahead and applied the garlic pepper seasoning to it, and I'm coming back across it with the Montreal steak seasoning as well, and I'm going to do this to both sides of the tri-tip. Today we're going to be using B&B oak briquettes, and these are the larger briquettes that are Texas style, and we're also going to be running at 275 degrees. I'm using post oak chunks in the ash pan and in the charcoal chute today. Our tri-tip is rested and our smoker's up to temp, so it's time to go ahead and get this bad boy on. We're going to be monitoring the temp on this cook, and we're going to be shooting for a goal of 120 degrees internal. So went ahead and plugged in a probe on the Char-Griller 980, and we're going ahead in the app here and setting the temperature at 120 degrees. You can see we got some of that beautiful post oak smoke rolling, and the app on the Char-Griller let us know that we've hit our internal of 120 degrees. So it's time to go ahead and take this thing off the cooker. While that tri-tip is resting, we're going to go ahead and get the Char-Griller 980 turned up to 625 degrees to get a good sear on the outside of this steak. Once that fan gets going, this thing kicks into high gear and you will hit your temperature quickly. We've already hit 618 degrees and it's only been about 2 minutes. Now that this smoker is piping hot, let's get a good sear on this tri-tip. I'm going to sear for 1 minute, and then I'm going to lift up and turn. And then I'm going to sear for another minute, and then I'm going to flip and get a good sear on the other side for 1 minute, and then we're going to do one last turn, and then we'll be done with the process. In my opinion, this is the best way to have a steak. If you have not reverse seared a steak or had one made for you, try it. I guarantee you will be hooked. You can even do this method in the oven and then take it to the top of the stove with a cast iron pan that's screaming hot, and you'll get the same results. Some guaranteed flavor. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the sound of flavor coming alive right here. Now that we're done with our sear, it's time to go ahead and get this tri-tip off. Let it rest for 15 minutes under some foil, and here's the final results. Just to recap, We started out with a 2.5 pound tri-tip. We tenderized and salt brined it for 15 minutes, and then we used olive oil as a binder, and we placed Fiesta brand garlic pepper season and Montreal steak seasoning on both sides. We then smoked the tri-tip at 275 degrees until it reached an internal of 120 degrees. We then took the tri-tip off to let it rest and set the Char-Grill 980 at 625 degrees to sear. We then seared for 1 minute and then did a quarter turn and seared for another minute, and then we flipped the tri-tip and repeated the process on the other side. Then we let the tri-tip rest for 15 minutes, and that was it. This steak came with a lot of flavor as usual, and I still say the Fiesta brand's garlic pepper seasoning is one of the best SPGs out there, and the Montreal steak seasoning made this thing pop. Let me know what you thought of the cook. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode of Outdoors with Geoff. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications when more content comes out, and also check out these videos here on the channel as well.